Hello and welcome to the Tarkis Zone. Thank you for joining me. Today I want to talk about Frozen Flame. I have done a few videos now on the game. Today I want to talk about some of my thoughts about the game. Maybe bring in the roadmap into this discussion a little bit and to talk about the guild that I'm in. Right now I'm in the Muffin League. They have their own Discord channel. It seems to be a multi-gaming group. They do play various different games, and I believe what the group was going to do is try to join together in Frozen Flame. Now, I know there's some guildies that are waiting for the public servers to come out, and I know there are many guildies who have played it and have finished it to the point where they're satisfied and they are taking a break from it, and then again are going to come back when the public servers come out. Now I'm hoping the public servers come out sooner than March. You know, we could cross our fingers and hope, because I think that's where really the fun will begin. I believe the PvP survival mode is what most people are waiting for. The campaign mode is great if you want to understand how the game works. I think anyone who's really thinking about getting the game should at least get it before the public servers come out, so that you can at least run through the campaign mode and understand how the mechanics of the game works. So again, this is the Discord channel that we use. We also have another Discord channel here. This is the one for the actual server we've been playing on. So what we did as a group decided, well, you know, let's go find a public server that someone's hosting, and in this situation it's the House of Flames role play, player versus player. They have their own Discord channel. This Discord channel I can send invites to. The other one I can't. So if you're looking for an invite to chat, also if you join the world that will be listed in the comments in the description below, if you enter the world, you'll see. I'm going to show the welcome center to you as part of this video. Why don't we do that now? So here are the 3 servers that I've played on in the past. Now what the gentleman who runs the PvP server has opened up a PvE server only that only has a 10 player threshold. He has the address to this on his Discord channel, which I just showed you, his Discord server. And then this here, we're going to go in. This is the one that's the PvP server that I've been playing on. Now, as you can see, there was nobody on the server. Now, at one point, we had 12, 13 people active on the server. All those people have basically finished the game and are waiting for the content to come back. To be added, not come back, but to be added to the game. I guess there was some, I should say, I guess I should correct myself with saying come back. There's a few elements that they did have in beta that they did not release in the campaign mode to the recent game, and some people are asking for some features that were in the beta to actually come back to the game. One of the objects, I believe, I didn't play the beta, this is just secondhand knowledge that someone gave me. There was an item that you could put in your building that gave you a protective radius around the building that you're building, so somebody couldn't just walk up and stack doors on top of your doors. That's the problem with the current status of this game, is anyone could walk up to a building, and here's the welcome center that I built, and inside that welcome center is a sign row, and for some reason, okay, here we go, is a sign row. My guy was stuck for some reason. It sometimes happens when I enter the world, my movement keys won't work, so I have to actually go into the tab or into the build mode, and once I've done that, my character then can use the controls to move around. Really weird. So in this building, this welcome center, we have a sign up there that says Discord, and then we have the Discord channel listed right here. So this is a welcome center that we created for the server. Again, many of the people who join the server have joined the Discord, but again, the server's been a ghost town, people waiting for content. It really has. It's just been me welcoming the occasional player that joins on the server. We're getting some lag today, and that's the other thing that people were kind of complaining about on this server, is as we started building more and more objects on the server, the lag seemed to increase, so we stopped building. I actually deleted many buildings on this server. For example, the building that I'm looking up there, that's my house. That's my personal house. There was a actual building stairway that came all the way to the base, to the very base, and I had built it a stairway, an enclosed stairway that went up there. I think when I deleted it, I got over 300 planks from deleting all of it, and I was hoping that that would help with the server lag. There was a few other buildings that I demolished in the world to help with the server lag. So we did find that as people built more and more in the world, we did get server lag. Now my ping is the same ping as I was getting before we started building anything. So, and that's what people noticed, is I'm still getting the same ping I used to do the server, but when we get into the server, we get this stutter step now. And I think that's the other reason why we've become a ghost town, is, you know, we haven't really built that much on the server. It's and that's what we were kind of scratching our heads, is, you know, if they are not optimizing something with the building, or rendering is happening when it shouldn't be happening. We don't know. You know, I did go around and delete a bunch of buildings, and it is what it is right now. I did not want to delete the welcome center so that people could come into the server and understand the Discord. I also made this bakery, you know, so that these fires can be lit. And I also, if you see, I created these top hoods. This way you don't walk into the fire. If you would, I don't think I got any wood on me. Yeah, I don't have any wood. It might be wood in this crate. No, all the wood's been taken. How about that crate? No, that crate's empty too. Yeah, and then these crates here have food in them, the raw food and the cooked food. So we created this bakery, the welcome center, to welcome people. Well, you put this tent down so that people can rest. I know that resting is not a big thing in this game right now, and I know you can take a perk on the talent tree that allows you to move faster while rested, but that seems to be the only thing you gain for it right now. So I'm assuming that the game developers are going to have other things that you gain for being well rested. And as you can see over there, the green bars raising on the sleep, and then when it gets full, that's when you're fully rested. So then I can just leave the tent, and I've got the fully rested buff. But again, that's really only works with the increased movement mechanic that you can get from the talent tree. It doesn't even heal you. That's the other thing that seems to be silly, that it doesn't heal you as part of the process of resting. They should add some sort of regenerating healing for that. As for the rest of the content that's coming out, I did a roadmap video the other day. I don't really want to go over that in detail again, but I do want to go over a couple things that I think they need to really add to the game. One being a guild or faction system. A guild system would be nice, where you can invite people into a guild, and then your buildings and boxes have an actual checkbox for guild access. So right now, if you go to a box and change or anything, a door, a box, I'm going to go to the access here. You can go to owner only, friends, and all. This one's open to all because we just want to give the stuff away to anybody coming onto the server. But it would be nice if they added a fourth check for guild mates. So this way you can choose guild mates over friends, so that you might only have 3 friends that you totally trust, and you give them access, those 3 friends, and then there's 30 guild mates and you don't know any of them really, or you maybe know half of them, and then you give them access to the stuff that you don't really care about, or you want to share with them. So they should have an in-game guild system. That shouldn't be very hard to do. Also, I think it should be a tab that tells you who's active on the server currently. So when you get into the server, there should be a tab, a check. You go to your inventory, maybe under these friends, there's another tab, active online. But it would be nice if you could click active online, see who's online on the server, and then there'd be another tab within that tab that shows you who logged in and logged off, and it keeps that information up to 24 hours or maybe 48 hours, so that anybody logging onto the server can go to that tab and see if the server is active. Also see, who's coming on and who's going off. Now you can opt out to be in that list. So like, say you go to your settings and you can check a box saying I don't want to be in the public list, so you can check that box. So when you're on the server, you won't show up in the in that list, that active list. Now it will show that you logged on and logged off. That should not change, because we do find that knowing who's coming on and coming off the server allows you to figure out who your trolls are, because there's been instances on the server that I've been playing on, people just log on and start just beating the crap out of the buildings, and then they log off. And it's like, okay, well, who's really doing that? There's no log to really tell you who's joining the server and who's logging off the server. The only way you can tell that is if you're online. So if someone came online right now onto the server, down at the bottom there, it'd say so-and-so connected, so-and-so disconnected. That's the only way. So why can't they make that a log somewhere that keeps, for 24 hours or 48 hours, and then the public listing of who's publicly on the server, with the option in your settings to log to forfeit out of that listing in case you want to play a stealth game. I don't know. But that's, some people just want to be left alone and don't want to be in that list. That's fine too. But it just allows you to see, who's online, if the server's active. So those are the couple things that I was thinking about that they could add to the game. Now, I'm thinking a tabard system. That would be neat, where you could go up to the loom and make a tabard. And then what's nice is the game, well, if you did a guild system where you have a guild and guild list, and within that system allow for rankings, right? So you got guild master, or whatever you want to call it, the clan master or whatever, and then you got officers, and then you got members. Now, if they did that, then any one officer or guild master could edit the tabard, go into an interface that allows you to edit what that tabard looks like. So if anyone in your guild goes to a loom and creates the tabard and puts it on, it's going to look like the one that the officers in the guild. It's not complicated. I've seen it in many different games, and it would add some flavor to the game. We have a nice tabard that you can create, and I think World of Warcraft did it very well. So there, right there, you can see that person just connected. That's the actual server admin right there. So it tells me I got 2 people online, and that would be me and Il Perry. And again, why can't they make a list that we can look at that keeps track for a couple days or a day? That would be nice. So he's saying hello to me. He's not aware that I'm doing a video, but that's all right. I'm just going to say hello back. So we're going to move on. Now, the other thing I think that they really need to think about with this game is either giving the building walls and doors more hit points, or at least giving the foundations more hit points. One of the key strategies that I'm finding for some of these trolls is they'll just go in here and they'll just attack the floors, the foundations. They'll just attack the foundations. Once they get the foundations gone, so let's say this was a 3-story building, they just have to take out those foundations and the whole building collapses. So I'm thinking that they need to add more hit points to the foundations, at least make it so that they're not the first ones you want to take out, and more hit points to the walls, and then the doors having the least amount of hit points. So you're kind of forcing people to try to penetrate your building through the doors, and there's many games that have done this very well, where the walls might have, I'm just using the example. Let's say a wooden wall has 10,000 hit points, and the wooden door has 6,000 hit points, and the foundations have 100,000 hit points. And I'm just putting that out there so that there's a balance. So if you're strategizing and you're rating somebody, and you're rating somebody with maybe 2 or 3 people, then you're going to go for the doors first because they got the least amount of hit points. Now, you might do the walls because maybe you have time to work on the walls. But if somebody's actively on the server trying to prevent you from raiding their building, having that many hit points on the walls would give it a flavor. People aren't going to just, right now, somebody can just take out your wall real quick, take out your boxes real quick, if there's 3 or 4 of you, and then run away. And maybe if I'm trying to defend my base, I take out one of you. But by the time I take out one of you, the other people are already in the building. It's just too easy to destroy buildings in this game, and you can't really have a strategy when building the structure, because you can it's like paper. you can just knock it down. I know they're adding stone to the game, but even by adding stone to the game, they need to buff the lumber hit points on the walls and the foundations and the doors, and they probably should have beefy numbers on the stone so that somebody building a building can strategically build it to hold off invaders. I mean, if somebody can just take 2 swipes at your wall and take it out, and then take 3 minutes knocking at your foundations to take down a 3-story building, that doesn't make any sense. And that's my frustration with the game right now, and I think that's a frustration with a few people that built houses and had them raided when everybody was offline. Somebody got on the server and just started knocking the foundations out of everybody's houses, leaving the houses completely destroyed. And it only probably took it a matter of minutes, because the window of time that the person was on the server was about an hour before another person was on the server and didn't see that person on. So the person within an hour was able to get on the server and take out 8 people's structures within an hour. That shouldn't be. It should take you an hour probably to take down one wall. I mean, that's just my thoughts of it. I mean, maybe I'm crazy. I'm in crazy town with thinking this way, but I know when I played Rend, they had it pretty balanced. And it seemed fair, the hit points of the walls. It allowed you time to repair the wall. Right now, if somebody was beating on one of these wood walls, I could repair it, but they will take it down even as I'm repairing it. It doesn't, they're paper thin. I mean, even if you build anything out of the stick, if you build anything with the branches, then it's just, I've got this ability called a ground stop. I'd use X. I can take out an entire building using that ability if it's made out of sticks. So it's like, okay, come on, guys. You developers, you got to need to fix some hit point issues here on the building structures. That's my thought on that. They obviously can add some nice decorations, which I think they're adding to next month to kind of flavor up some of the buildings that we've created. That would be nice. What else was a big thing that people were talking about? The shared loot would be another nice thing, where if a mob drops loot, that loot is player-based, not world-based. So somebody's not just collecting your loot if you don't get there in time to pick it up. That would be a nice little fix. I know the storage boxes have already talked about those. Those should probably be increased in hit points, or at least the second chest, more slots in it. The other thing that I also heard about was the fact that they need to make the weapons more polished, whereas the fire staff is pretty nice, the bow's pretty nice, and I think in a PvP, we did a little bit of PvP on the server, it just seemed like everybody was using the fire staff and the bow. And even though they sped up the weapon mechanics of the melee weapons, it's still not enough. People are just skirting out of the melee weapons and just hitting people from a distance. It just seemed very vanilla. It doesn't, the game doesn't feel like chess, it feels like checkers. Like, who's got the biggest stick, boom, 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 and the guy with the biggest stick is going to win. That's how I feel about the PvP in this game. I mean, if you're somewhat skilled in dodging, blocking, which most PvPers are, it just becomes a stalemate. Whoever's got the biggest stick, better weapon or better armor, it didn't seem like talent took, it's not like you have a lot of abilities that you can fire. Your weapon is giving you one ability when it's charged, and if you're swapping out weapons, then yeah, you might have an extra ability with the weapon you're swapping, but really, it's very vanilla, the combat. It's really, and that's why we're not seeing people on the server right now PvPing, because people are like, yeah, this is not what I was looking for. They were looking for more of a really flushed out PvP system, which again, in March, I hope that's what they're going to be providing. I hope when they do the public servers, they're going to provide a more balanced, more robust weapon system for those kind of hardcore PvPers, because we've all been there. We've all seen games where the mechanics were so simple that everybody used the same weapons, same armor. It got so stale, so quick that I just hope that they don't do that with this game. I'm hoping that they're able to polish the weapons, make them fun to play, make them strategically useful to play, so that not everybody's just running around with a big club and hoping for the best. I just hope that is addressed better. because again, right now, when I was playing this server for the first week the game came out, this server was always busy. We had a lot of people on the server. I've reached out to those people. They're like, yeah, I'm going to come back when they A, add more content, and B, get those public servers up with the PvP 50-man combat. That's what really people are looking forward to. So I wanted to really just do this video to plug the guild. We're still looking for members. We're going to be a PvP guild. We are a PvP guild, and we're going to be on one of the public servers. That's the plan. We're going to try to find a server that works for all of us. A server that works for either East Coast or in Europe, because we have members across the pond there that's in the Europe, Netherlands and whatnot. So we want to make sure that we pick a server that's good for the majority of the players. So it could be an East Coast server, it could be one overseas. I'm hoping that my ping is good no matter what happens, get a pretty good internet connection. So, so I'm just really going to conclude this video by saying I hope that you're excited about the future add-ons. If you haven't bought in the game, then maybe wait a few weeks. But I definitely think you should buy it before the public servers come out, just to allow you to understand the game, the mechanics of the game. And by then, a couple add-ons, a couple patches would have occurred, so that that you'll be in a position right before the PvP servers come out to be looking good if you do the campaign at that time. Well, thank you for joining me.